All hell broke loose when the news broke that Meghan sent her lawyer on to insist the negative stories about the Duchess on the BBC documentary are false. The BBC was accused of giving credibility to overblown and unfounded claims about the royal family last night as it broadcast a controversial documentary about William and Harry, which also included an interview from Meghan Markle's lawyer. Meanwhile, in a strongly worded joint statement, given to the BBC ahead of last night's broadcast, the three royal households representing the Queen, Charles and William said, "A free, responsible and open press is of vital importance to a healthy democracy. However, too often overblown and unfounded claims from unnamed sources are presented as facts, and it is disappointing when anyone, including the BBC, gives them credibility." In an extraordinary joint statement, Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace and Clarence House last night said it was disappointing that the broadcaster had chosen to air allegations surrounding Harry and Meghan's departure from Britain. The show's presenter, BBC media editor and Radio 4 presenter Amol Rajan, said Ms. Afia was speaking with the Duchess' permission. In a rare on-camera interview, she insisted bullying claims printed about the Duchess were false and said she rejected the narrative that the former Suits actress was difficult to work with. It included claims of competitiveness between the different royal households. Dan Wootton, then a Sun journalist and now a columnist at Mail Online, also spoke about his Tiaragate article about the Duchess in November 2018. The article carried claims of a row between Meghan and members of the royal household over her pick of a tiara at her wedding with Prince Harry. It is claimed Meghan wanted to wear an emerald tiara, but her first choice was vetoed by the Queen. A row is alleged to have ensued, in which it is claimed Harry said, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." Mr. Wootton also addressed bullying claims made by Meghan's staff against her, claims that she denies and are currently subject to a palace investigation. He said, "It took 6 months for it to get out after the wedding, so when people like to say the press are going for Harry and Meghan, you had it in for Harry and Meghan. I completely disagree. It was actually these people behind the scenes who started to get annoyed, before any of it was public." At that point no national newspaper had dared to really dive into this huge war that was developing behind the scenes. And part of that was that no one in the royal rota was really prepared to break that story either. So I did take someone like me, as an outsider, and actually say no, I'm going to do it. In the documentary, royal commentator Camilla claimed all hell broke loose when Meghan began dating the Duke of Sussex. She said, "I wasn't familiar with her name. I don't think anyone was at the time, to be perfectly honest, unless they had watched Suits, the legal drama she had been starring in. But that's a cable show, it's kind of a bit niche. We kept it so tight. It was me, my editor, the deputy editor, my news editor who were the only people who knew about the story. It didn't appear in any news list until it was on the page ready for production. I was watching my son Harry play football and all hell broke loose around the rest of Fleet Street." She later went on to say, Harry, does have a love-hate relationship with the press. I think he sort of resents out intrusion, maybe. Who can blame him?" Journalist Omid Scobie, co-author of the controversial biography of the Sussexes, Finding Freedom, meanwhile said negative stories had been leaked about Meghan, although he did not name those involved. "There were some people who felt she, Meghan, needed to be put in her place. I think by leaking a negative story, that's punishment," he said. There's been rumors for quite some time that a lot of the most damaging and negative stories have come from other royal households or from other royal aides. From my own research and reporting, that's exactly true. Meanwhile, Jenny Afia, a lawyer from Shillings who works with the Duchess of Sussex, spoke on camera and denied reports that Meghan was difficult to work with. She said, "Those stories were false. This narrative that no one can work with the Duchess of Sussex, that she was too difficult, demanding a boss, and that everyone had to leave is just not true." It is understood that the BBC provided a written memo, outlining relevant allegations, but refused requests to provide an advance copy of the 2-hour-long episodes. The Princes and the Press is a 2-part documentary fronted by Amol Rajan, that aired on BBC Two on Monday, with the second installment scheduled for next week. The new documentary covers the brothers' tumultuous relationship following Harry's departure from the firm. The hour-longer episode 1 of the divisive 2-part series, which was aired on Monday night, featured claims by Omid Scobie, the journalist who co-authored the controversial Finding Freedom biography about the Sussexes, that negative stories about the Sussexes had been briefed by other royal households. Counter-claims by journalist and Mail Online columnist Dan Wootton that people behind the scenes had come forward to the press after getting annoyed at the behavior of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. An on-camera interview by Meghan Markle's lawyer in which she denied claims that the Duchess of Sussex had bullied royal staff. An apology by a private detective who admitted he had targeted Prince Harry's then-girlfriend Chelsea Davy in 2004. Claims that Prince Charles had been overshadowed by a decision by Harry's press secretary to release a statement criticizing the press's coverage of his relationship with Meghan Markle while he was on a royal trip to Oman. November 2018. The article carried claims of a row between Meghan and members of the royal household over her pick of a tiara at her wedding with Prince Harry. It is claimed Meghan wanted to wear an emerald tiara, but her first choice was vetoed by the Queen. A row is alleged to have ensued, in which it is claimed Harry said, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." Mr. Wootton also addressed bullying claims made by Meghan's staff against her, claims that she denies and are currently subject to a palace investigation. He said, "It took 6 months for it to get out after the wedding, so when people like to say the press are going for Harry and Meghan, you had it in for Harry and Meghan. I completely disagree. It was actually these people behind the scenes who started to get annoyed, before any of it was public." At that point no national newspaper had dared to really dive into this huge war that was developing.